YouTube, waiting on you. All right. Hey, guys. What's up? This is Donnie Rouse, and this episode today is called Forced Flexibility. So, if anything this year has given us is kind of like this tool of being flexible, because many people had plans. Like I had many plans this year to travel. I was supposed to go to Turkey maybe a few weeks ago, ended up canceling that, and I was supposed to go to Florida this week, and I ended up canceling that. And the primary reason behind all of these things was because I wanted to make sure that I didn't come back and, possibly catch COVID and then bring it to my family during the holiday season. So as a result of that concern, it caused me to postpone some of the things that I wanted to forego. Wanted to postpone some of these trips. And I'll admit that initially putting these trips off, putting these plans off was a little bit tough. And I met it with a lot of resistance because I really was looking forward to going on these trips. And I was really looking forward just to kind of like get out of the ordinary and be back in that world, as I'm sure many of you are. And most recently with the Florida one, I was reminded of a little lesson that I had gotten throughout this entire year. The lesson is that with every what you want to, even if you want to call it a setback, but any change to your plans opens up another opportunity. And case in point, when when COVID first started, coming about, that was one of the reasons why first that I started coming live, and that I actually started posting more to my podcast. And that was just one thing. And it was because I asked a different question at the beginning. I said, well, what other opportunities does this bring? What else could this mean? And as a result of that, I got a better meaning rather than just pissing and moaning because I couldn't travel outside the country. So with Florida, the same thing happened. So I was supposed to go to Florida. My sister had voiced her concerns because she didn't want me coming back with the holidays, and she was having some issues with her immunity and blah, blah, blah. So I was forced to make another decision. I was like, well, they didn't say I couldn't go, but it would kind of feel irresponsible of me to go and then come back and then be with everybody. So I decided to put it off. And I thought to myself, this just kind of happened by itself. Normally, I would have been kind of like throwing a little bit of a pissy fit, and then I would have just kind of tried to look for the bright side. But then I remember that there's always an opportunity. So any change of plans, there's always a good and bad. It's just what you're choosing to look for. So with this particular decision, I looked towards the workshop that I'm doing on January 9th, the Live Your One Life workshop. And one of my concerns was before I was planning this trip to Florida was that if I'm going to be taking 2 weeks to go to Florida, that I'm not going to have the time. I'm going to be visiting friends. I'm not really going to have the time to devote to building that workshop and creating it the way I want to create it. As a result of not going now, my focus immediately went to, all right, good. Now I could focus my efforts. I can concentrate on creating this, and I could do the trip later. But I can get all this other stuff done first. This week, I could focus on what it is that I want to do and how I want to enjoy it. So just a different frame of mind, just a different way of thinking. So what is it in your life right now that maybe you're kind of struggling with because you've been forced to change your plans, or say force, we'll use that we'll loosely use that word force. And then what other opportunities have come up as a result? So if you're not doing one thing, what other opportunities are there? Maybe it's diving deeper into some work like I'm doing. Maybe it is planning out an even more detailed trip that you're going to take. Maybe it's just getting to spend time with your friends and family who are coming in for the holidays. And if I had taken that trip, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But now that I'm here, I could spend that time with those friends. There's always give and take. There's always good and bad. You just have to search for it. That is all I've got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this. I will be on tomorrow with the Wake Up with Rouse recap of my podcast episode. But if you would like to check out the podcast, you can do so by checking out the One Life podcast with Donnie Rouse. Again, One Life podcast with Donnie Rouse. Listen to it, love it, like it, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. And no morning is complete without a beautiful cup of coffee, and then in which case I recommend my Rouse coffee. In short, this is about living your one life. Rouse coffee is about living your one moment. It's about taking that moment at the beginning of your day to just kind of be, to really think about what is it that I want? How do I want to interact with the people that I love? What do I want that's going to make me feel excited and enjoy life? That is what that's my intention behind the coffee. So, if you haven't tried my coffee, I highly recommend trying it. www.rousecoffee.com. If you want, you can get 10% off by inputting the code OneLife. You get a discount code 10% off anything in the store just by inputting the discount OneLife. That is it, guys. Hope you enjoy this session, and I will see you again tomorrow. Cheers.